Hi, it's Dr. Squee here. I'm here to tell you about my live video podcast event, Squeefest 2020, brought to you by StreamYard. 2pm to 2pm British Summer Time on 9am to 9am Eastern. I will be going live for 24 hours on the Dr. Squee Show Facebook page and twitch.tv/Dr. Squee to raise money for NHS charities together who are supporting NHS staff and volunteers who are bringing the fight to COVID-19. We will have guest stars including the third Doctor Who companion Katie Manning. From Going Live we have Trevor Simon. Stand-up comedian Anubhav Powell will be bringing Mumbai to the event, and we'll have so many more guest stars to announce. As well as that, we have quizzes, games, panels with authors and ghost hunters. We've also got your favourite podcasts: Retrek, Netheads, Legend in My Spare Time, Due South by Southeast, Unclassical, Dead Piet Society, Talking Codswallop, Diversely Geek, Legend of the Travelling TARDIS, Dog's Best Friend, and Blay Makes Food. As well as all that, our friends over at SW20 Radio, the Sound of South Wales, will be broadcasting an hour of Squeefest with our friend Matt Lees. Please follow our Facebook page and at Dr. Squee on Twitter and Instagram for more guest announcements as we have them. All this and so much more. If you can afford to donate, please go to justgiving.com/Squeefest now or on the day and give what you can. And join me for 24 hours of fun. I'll see you there.
Hey there, boys and girls. It's Ralph Garman, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop. Good choice.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. You might know me from the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast and the I Sell Comics podcast. Listen, I love podcasting. I love talking, but what I really love doing is talking Codswallop.
Hey, I'm Alicia Witt.
I'm Daniel Portman from Game of Thrones. I play Podrick Payne.
I'm Ellipses, and you're listening to the Talking... Okay, I'm Mark Bernard, and you're listening to the Talking Codswallop podcast.
Hey man, it's Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, whose voice you were never used to hearing in the 90s until I started opening it up, man. And that's because I'm a podcaster and you're listening to a podcast, Talking Codswallop, right here, man.
Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
I'm James.
And this is our second recording this week. And we're not going to talk about the previous recording other than to say, fuck you, Fridge, fuck you. Basically, what happened is that we did record a lot longer episode because we're going to be doing just a short one this week, obviously, because this is our second recording. And the fridge in the flat, unfortunately, decided he wanted to talk as well and was making quite a lot of racket behind me. And I didn't realise that, although I knew it was going to be picked up on my audio, I didn't realise that it was going to be picked up on the Skype call audio as well, because James had an issue with his microphone, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Bizarre, it's only just stopped.
Yeah.
So, can't with that one at all.
Yeah, I think we need to start a GoFundMe to get James a new microphone, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't count it's the microphones or the SD card or something, so I'm tempted to try a new SD card.
Well, that's a lot cheaper to replace, isn't it? So, yes.
Oh, if anyone would like to GoFundMe a SD card.
James, if we're going to do a GoFundMe, let's go for the whole hog and get you a microphone, eh?
Actually, tell you what, if we're going to GoFundMe, you lovely Salty Tadpoles, I'd like the Zoom microphone that Ming Chen recently showed up on his Facebook page with. So I think it's like the most expensive Zoom microphone possible. But let's raise that money. I'll put up a sad picture of me with the microphone.
James, if either of us is getting that microphone, it's me, okay? Because also my audio might sound a little bit funny as well, because unfortunately my microphone does not like being used with a computer, as we established a couple of episodes ago, well, many episodes ago. So I'm trying my other microphone, but as we just did a test record, we found out that my audio just sounds exactly the same either way. So, yay!
Yeah, just dear Salty Tadpoles, please go fund for both of us the newest, most expensive Zoom microphone possible. You know it'll enrich not only our lives but yours.
I mean, you must be desperate in need of good quality now. I mean, you get the good content, but the good quality has not been the case for a long time now.
Absolutely, yeah. What we need is the Zoom H5 microphone.
Oh, is it the H5, is it? Because there's a H6 as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's go for broke. We'll have the H6.
One each.
Yeah. Money is no object to our lovely Salty Tadpoles, so yeah.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I can see them all rattling their pockets now to get the loads of change that's in there.
It's only £302. I'm sure we could have one each.
Oh, easily. I mean, come on. In the early days of Tell 'em Steve Dave, somebody brought them 3 iPads. So, come on.
Don't let us down.
Yeah. Are we not as good?
We're better.
Well, that's what I think as well. Oh dear. But, regardless, anyway, we started the episode completely moaning. This episode is probably going to be Fuck Off Fridge. That's probably what it's going to be called. But now you know why. And obviously because of iTunes, I will be putting little symbols in for the fuck word. Or we'll just get a microphone for the fridge next time, because it clearly wanted to have a good old chat. And, yeah. So anyway, James, how have you been this week?
Up until the disastrous recording, not too bad. I'll throw in an amusing thing before we go on to your Codswallop of the week. The interesting thing on background noise is hopefully there'll be no background noise from my side of the recording, because I think they've got like Diner or someone out at the end of the cul-de-sac. Someone's having all the drains cleaned. So I'm sat in the house, I'm like, I'm sure I can hear some sort of like engine noise somewhere. Well, what could be causing this? And I'm walking around my house thinking, well, there's no obvious thing. And then I saw what it was. So I don't think you'll hear anything. I think I managed to isolate it to a reasonably quiet room, but, hopefully nothing will bleed in.
No, well, it sounds quiet to me, but then also, I could be wrong. But also, I've got a couple of flies in here that are buzzing around as well, so that could be picked up on the audio. You never know. Well, actually, strange thing, I can't remember if I ever said this on the podcast or not, but when my dad, before he passed away, he said that he was going to come back as an irritating fly, just so that he could obviously irritate people. So every time we see a fly now, we always go, "Hi, Dad." So my dad might be having something to say in a moment in the
seeking revenge of some sort.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot to say when he was alive, but God damn it, now he's dead. He's got too much to say. So you've had a reasonably good week?
It's been okay, yeah. It's not been too bad.
My week's been pretty good as well, to be honest. With regards to the actual work week, it's been bedlam. Work has been insanely busy because of having that one day off because of bank holiday. And then it just turned into chaos, basically. So I've been working about a day or a day and a half behind in the last couple of days, really. It's one of those things you never catch up, because I've also had a couple of colleagues on holiday as well. Mm-hmm. But on a plus side, it has been busy. So that means that it's gone really quickly. So, you take some, you leave some,
Correct.
Yeah.
Rough with the smooth.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, me and Chris had a lovely date day night the other day, which James already knows about, because it was covered on the unreleased episode. Yeah, basically what we did, we went to a local town called Swanage, which is a town that time forgot, basically. So there's not any, I've still forgotten the word, but, New Look is the only high street shop.
It has the most basic of amenities.
Yeah, it does, but it also has lots of quirky shops as well. So nice. It's basically, it's all locally owned shops. So, and of course you've got the typical grockle shops, which, do you use that term up north?
I don't know what that is. That sounds like some sort of weird localism. But what you mean is it has no big chain stores? No,
like I said, New Look is the only one that is a chain store. So other than supermarkets, they haven't got anything else really. But just to go to what a grockle is, It is a southern term, I think, for basically tourists. So anybody that has come down from the M25 direction, so so it's basically it's covering sort of anybody who's there on holiday. There's probably a long description of what the actual meaning is, but that's what I know it as. So there's a lot of typical shops, where you can get magnets with your name on, or a duck with your name on, or a kiss me quick hat, kind of thing. But it is also a really, really pretty town, and it's got one of the last Wimpeys known to this country. So,
now that's backwards.
Yes, exactly. And we, of course, had lunch there.
It must have also been a long time ago, because Wimpy's no longer is sort of a large-scale business, but no. I couldn't even remember when I was last at Wimpy. I can't think what age I'd be.
No, I think I was a child the last time I went to Wimpy, to be honest. It kind of still holds up from what I can vaguely remember, like you said. So, but one of those things that, like where you go to McDonald's, you get like one of their meals. It comes with a burger and chips and a drink sort of thing. Whereas you have to kind of pay for everything separately at Wimpy. But it's a better burger, and it's a better load of chips, and it's a better drink, and so everything's better.
Yes.
But still, in hindsight, it's just fast food. Food.
It is food. Yes.
Yes, it is fast food. It's so fast we can name it twice. Yeah, it was lovely, and then we went out on an evening out. Just a local restaurant in town, really, and that was a lovely evening, and it was really, really fun.
Good.
Oh, my takeaway is just about to turn up, so we're going to hear the doorbell ringing in a second. Dunno, can you hear that?
Yes. We may be done even quicker than we realise, but
no, not at all.
Power through.
No, not at all. My food can be microwaved. It's no problem whatsoever. So, but yes, my mum's obviously going to be answering the door, so you may pick that up. But you know what? At this stage, guys, I really don't care.
As long as we get some sort of audible noise, we're okay.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, something's gone wrong. Oh, mystery of the unknown. What's gone wrong? I reckon it's probably because they didn't tell us that we had to pay for delivery.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
You think it will be in the entire thing, but who knows?
Who knows? Who knows indeed? It's like I feel like that's a mystery, and I should call my mum in a minute to find out exactly what it is. I'm just baffled. Right, hold on. Mum, can you come in one moment, please, and help us solve a mystery of what he said. Oh, sorry about that. Come over here and talk into the microphone now. Hello?
Go on, I'm intrigued. What's happened?
Here? Hold on, James. I need to just give her one of my headphones a moment. Oh, that smells good. What, me? No, the Chinese.
Oh. I was going to say, what are we talking about here? Your mother or the food?
Yeah, she wasn't talking about me, that's for sure.
No.
I find it hard to believe.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not often that we get guest appearances on this show, but here we are, the best guest that I know personally.
What are you after?
Chinese.
I know when she compliments me, there's always something at the end of it.
An ulterior motive, yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
Well, the reason why I called you in here was because there was a mystery, because I was sort of telling the listeners that the Salty Tadpoles, as I should call them,
yes.
That basically the delivery man said, oh, sorry about that. So I said, ooh, there's a mystery going on. What happened?
He charged me £1 more.
The bastard. Why did he charge you £1 more?
I have no idea. I think he showed me the receipt.
Yeah.
And it was £1 more. And I thought, well, damn it.
Do you think that this might be that he fancied you and that, deep down he wanted to talk to you for a little bit longer?
Well, I'm so fanciable, I am so fanciable that I reckon, I don't know. I reckon that could be what he did, Gemma.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Yeah.
He thought...
Mind you, he was a funny looking fella.
Oh.
He only come up to me boobs. He was Yeah, he's a funny little chap. Yeah,
It's probably true, that is why, but his game plan to actually charge you money to spend time with you is a really weird way of doing things.
That's the wrong way round, isn't it? I should have been
totally the wrong way round.
Yeah, I should have been right. That's it, James. Next time when he comes here, I'm going to say, if you're going to stand on my doorstep, I'm going to charge you.
£15.
Correct.
Indeed, yes.
Oh, indeed. That's James's catchphrase, indeed.
Indeed. Yes.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
I was going to say, all the best people say indeed, don't they? Because that's because we are posh. Indeed.
Yeah, we are, and we're educated enough to know when to use the word.
Indeed. On that happy note, I'm going to have my Chinese.
Okay.
Have fun. Have a good evening.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, thank you ever so much for making a guest appearance.
You're most welcome.
It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. I can't wait for our further communication later. See, I told you.
Little weeds.
What was that?
Little weeds.
Okay, right, she just made some old reference. I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Well, pop men, I think.
Oh, she said goodbye, little weed.
Yeah.
Or bob bob weed. I don't know. So yeah, this episode, like I said, anything could go.
Cool.
So I'm glad
we've just proven it. We're just we're out there, we're living on the edge. We're just bringing guests in.
Yeah. Who else have we got under the table?
I'm looking under a table as we speak, and unfortunately, I have nobody here.
Oh, James. And you know what? That man must have been pretty short because she's only 5'2". So
He's definitely been shrunk in the wash then.
Yeah, he must have been a tiny little hobbit. We're kind of having a light-hearted but sort of started the show a little bit grumpy.
It's getting better.
It's getting better, but now do you think I should bring it all back down to earth and say, have you got any Codswallop this week?
Well, I don't have any major sort of Codswallop stuff. The usual thing that hits me is, annoying driving. And it was the instance of, it happened again slightly this morning. I was stuck behind a guy driving with a demountable on the back, like a porta cabin thing, but he actually improved his driving game and accelerated. But there was the incident a week or so ago where I was stuck behind somebody who was doing 20 miles an hour in 60 zones.
Oh, God, I hate that guy already.
And it's just not good. They shouldn't be on the road, basically. It's not safe. But anyway, in the great scheme of things, it could be far worse. I'm more interested in hearing about your Codswallop, Gemma.
Okay. Well, just to pull behind the curtain a little bit, James's Codswallop did go on a little bit longer than that when we previously recorded, but as we've already vented that, so it's not, he's not quite as angry about that anymore, but yeah.
No.
I think the words that James said was, the fucking man should have his license revoked from him. If you're too old and you can't drive the speed limit, then take your license away.
Well, yeah, there is reality. I mean, there is some truth to me when I made that comment. If you are that bad at driving, if you are putting other people at risk on the road, which is in essence what you're doing, because you are driving so slowly, people are getting irate, they're overtaking you, or you're just creating huge queues of traffic, it's game over. You clearly can't drive properly. Give in, hand in that license, finish, finito.
Yep, exactly. I'm so glad that I brought out the fire in you there.
Yeah. Less cursing this time, though.
Yes, there was a little bit less cursing this time. But well, my Codswallops, because I initially have 4, but again, I've vented about them and I also haven't kept them saved. So, yes, I've deleted them all now. But one of my Codswallops I know was also related to driving, which was I was driving down a road which is always renowned for being a pain in the ass to park down. And this man was indicating to come out of the space. So I thought, first of all, brilliant, I can actually get into that space. And then second of all, I thought, obviously, I'll do the kind thing and let him go, again, so I could get in the space. So he's indicating, and again, is an older gentleman. And apparently female drivers are crap, James, but...
Yeah, no, that's true. At least we both agree on that.
No, we don't. I mean, some female drivers are, but yeah, the majority of female drivers are pretty good. But basically I've let this guy go, and he waves me off. So he waves me to go on. And it really, really annoyed me, because why sit there with your indicator on looking like you're going to be leaving a space when you're actually not leaving the space, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really frustrating, James.
It is, yeah. It can get a tad annoying, yes.
It's also the people that you've politely waited for the space to come available, and there's another asshole that comes along and actually takes your space.
I've seen that happen too. I have seen that happen. And
Yeah.
I've seen people at breaking point of almost killing people when that happens. So, yeah. Yeah, I know the feeling. I've not had it done to me. I've not done it to other people, but I have seen it happen to other people, and it's pretty awful.
Yeah, it is really bad. It's like I had that the other day when I was at Tesco's, again, politely waiting for somebody to come out of a space in the, obviously, Tesco's car park at this point. And all of a sudden, I think it was actually an Audi driver, so I'm sorry, James, but a bloody Audi driver.
I'd just like to point out that on that point, if it is an Audi driver, clearly they deserve the space more than you do.
Well, what I did to him was, because there was a space that was basically after him, next to him, sorry. What I decided to do was he went in at a weird angle, and I decided that I'm going to slowly and almost be like a female driver at this point, or a typical female driver, sorry, should I say. I took my time to get into the space, and he really needed to reverse out and straighten up, and he couldn't do it for a couple of minutes because there was this jittery female driver that was really, really stupid, and she kept moving backwards and forwards. And I really, really decided that I was going to do it as slowly as I could possibly do it without making it too obvious.
Well, I have to admit, the ultimate parking experience that was done by me is, you may remember this, you may not be cast your mind back there, when I was going to the James Bond music event in Leeds, when I parked in an underground car park, moved all the cones that were around to cordon off the car cleaning, and just parked so nobody else could park around me.
I absolutely remember that, yeah, definitely. Oh, it is funny, the kind of things that we do, though, isn't it, to protect our car?
It certainly is, yeah.
Yeah. Can you remember any of my other Codswallops, James?
Those are the ones I remember standing out, to be honest. It's good if you've had more and you can't remember them, so you must be rather chilled out.
Well, no, it was more the fact that I've had more. I spoke about them on our last recording. I then deleted it, so I now can't remember what they were. But whatever they were, really, really fucked me off. And there was one in particular that really annoyed me as well, but I really can't remember what it was. So, regardless. Before we get on to any stories of the week, I have 2 questions for you, actually, James. Well, it's just one question and one promotional thing. First question is, you think you got away with it, but have you managed to listen to last week's episode yet?
I hear a phone ring in the background.
Yeah, I know. It's just chaos.
The question is, which was quieter, the fridge or the experience this evening?
The fridge, the doorbell, or the phone.
I can report the following. Well, I'm going to answer your question with the following information.
Okay.
Women drivers are still crap, especially old ones, and weird background like, white noise doesn't tell me a lot.
Okay. I was trying to think. I was like, yes. What white noise? And I was like, oh yeah, the crickets. Yes. Yeah. Well, either you're going to have to keep listening, or if I find out that you're not listening again, that thing with the white noise or crickets, as I used in the end, it's going to happen, and only myself and Luke know what happened. And I'm sure the Salty Tadpoles will enjoy it if you don't listen, basically.
Let's be honest, the chances are I probably won't listen, but
well,
maybe I won't. Bit of hedgy bet, basically.
Yep. Well, don't worry, James. I'm sure I'll find out. I've got basically a radar that sort of not a radar, but a satellite that's pointed at your house right now. Right. And I find out everything that you're listening to throughout the day, and it also follows you in your car as well when you go to work, so I know exactly what things you're listening to, so Stop watching porn, you dirty bastard.
What, right now?
Well, I mean, if you could turn it down a little bit, you know.
Getting a bit distracting, eh? The background noise.
Yeah. Well, James did say there might be drilling in the background, so you never know.
Just didn't specify what sort of drilling it was.
No, exactly. Okay, and the other thing that I wanted to quickly promote as well was on the 19th of September at 11 p.m, Talking Codswallop will be live for the second time. And we will also be on screen as well. So you'll be able to see our beautiful faces, which is very exciting, I'm sure. James is a potential person who's going to be on the episode, but hopefully you will be able to attend. But basically, this is all in aid of Squeefest, which is Ian Shaw's project, which he's going to be doing a 24-hour podcast. And it's all in aid of raising money for NHS and also just to sort of help out with like the coronavirus and, you know, trying to get a cure and things like that. And I know that, you know, whatever your beliefs are, whether, you know, we should be putting money towards the NHS, or also if you're from a different country and you think, well, why should I support that country's funding or whatever, then it's more to kind of help people. So it's more to kind of like assist people with, you know, like general well-being. And it's also a fun thing to do, just to actually give people a little bit of entertainment during these crazy times. So that's another reason why he's doing it. But he's also doing it, like I said, for 24 hours. And starting, I think, at 2 p.m. and finishing at 2 p.m. on the following day. And Talking Codswallop will be live between 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. So I'm going to be particularly tired at that time. So I'm sure that I'm going to be telling Ian, or Squee, as I should be calling him in practice, I'm sure I'm going to be telling him that I'm bloody tired, just to make him feel better, because and I'm sure he'll really appreciate that. If you can join us and you want to watch it, then I will be posting information in the link. But also, as you probably heard on previous episodes, the beginning and the end of the show, I will be putting his blurb that he sent me. He's given me a little sound recording of what's going to be happening, basically. It's all fun and it's all exciting. So, yeah, so either be myself, Ian and Nicola, or it will be the four of us. So James will be with us as well.
I will do my best. We'll see what happens with work, etc. But yeah, fingers crossed.
I hope so. I hope you're there, obviously, because, you know, you're part of the team. So, you know, it's always fun to have you there as well. But because it is Nicola and Ian, I'm not too worried about doing it on my own, you know, because I know them. So, which is quite nice. Yeah. So, yes. But so that's all the things that we need to sort of promote on this episode. Let's get on to story of the week. James, have you got a story that we can talk about?
Give me 1 second to find it. It's got real guts to it, this story.
Ew.
Indeed.
Indeed
it is. You see, we already know what this is, you wonderful salty tadpoles. We've already discussed this once before. All I've got to do is find one where I can read it. So this is slightly different to our original one, but oh dear God, this has got video footage as well. Right, so this is about a woman who had a very nasty experience. And feeling unwell, the woman went to the hospital and was put under general anaesthetic after doctors realised there was something in her stomach. Later, the doctors removed a snake from the woman's mouth.
Oh my God, it's like things from nightmares, that is.
It is. Oh, God. A snake was pulled from a woman's mouth after the reptile crawled inside her while she was sleeping. Footage of the horrifying moment when the 4-foot snake was surgically removed from the Russian woman's mouth has gone viral on social media. So the incident took place at Levashik village in Dagestan, Russia, where the woman was sleeping in the yard of her home. According to a report, on feeling unwell, the woman went to the hospital and was put under general anaesthetic after doctors realised there was something in her stomach. Later, the doctors removed the snake from the woman's mouth, with fear writ large on the face of the surrounding medical staff. However, it is not clear whether the snake was dead or alive on being retrieved. In the video, the doctors appear visibly startled on realising that it is a snake, and can be seen horrified while dumping it in the waste bin. According to the news website, the Ministry of Health in Dagestan is yet to comment on the incident. Since being shared online, the video has prompted several reactions, with some calling it their worst nightmare. Yep, I think I can agree with that. It's a pretty horrifying thought that sort of thing could happen. How on earth someone can actually have a snake crawl into their mouth and not feel it is absolutely beyond me. But there's, of course, the chance that you could be drunk, drugs, whatever.
Yeah, or just completely exhausted. But there's kind of, not to sound crude, but if anything entered my mouth, I think I'd wake up and realise,
Well, it's not even, okay, you can imagine something getting in your mouth, and if you're out of it enough, you may not feel it. For me, it'd be when it hits the back of your throat, when it's going actually down your windpipe.
Yeah, it's like your automatic gag reflex sort of comes into play, doesn't it?
Completely. It'd be, I just don't know how you wouldn't be choking, throwing up, whatever.
This girl isn't afraid of swallowing, though.
No, she isn't. All I'll say is I don't want to sleep outside ever again.
No, I don't think I ever will either. But that does remind me of, it's a story that happened on This Morning. No, this happened in real life, like in real life. It's not a thing where it happened and I was actually dreaming or anything like that, but it is going to sound a bit like a dream. That I think it was the programme This Morning, and they were interviewing a lady who had come back from a expedition. Say she'd, climbed up Mount Kilimanjaro or whatever the hell it was. That was the part that I really can't remember. Basically, when she'd returned back to the UK, she kept getting like little scabs forming sort of on her skin. It was like on her arms, her legs, behind the ear and whatnot. Anytime that she'd scratch it, a load of spiders would crawl out, which is horrible. I'm not bothered by spiders personally, but at the same time, I don't want them inside of me.
Yeah.
So they were obviously like nesting inside. The other thing that she couldn't understand while she was actually doing her journey, her walk or whatever, was that every time she was eating, she was feeling exhausted, that she didn't get any nourishment or anything like that. And the reason why was because there was a snake that was living in her stomach and was obviously eating all of the food that she was actually digesting. I know, it's awful, isn't it? And and it's
making me very uncomfortable. It's making me my feet twitch.
Ooh, yeah, it's making my legs like raw. But again, I don't understand how she didn't feel a snake going into her stomach. But I guess it's a good diet regime.
I think I've put on a bit of weight, I'll be honest, but I think I'll give the idea of swallowing a snake or any sort of creature to lose weight. I think I'll just try natural weight loss.
Yeah, I think I will as well. Knowing my luck, I'd probably swallow a venomous snake or whatever. Just my luck.
Swallow a cobra. That's one hell of a weight loss scheme. She's dead.
But yet the snake still lives.
Like Alien or something, your stomach's still moving, you're dead.
Yeah,
how are we going to get it out there?
Yeah, and all of a sudden it just bursts through my stomach. Yeah. Oh no, but yeah, that I definitely do remember that story happening because it was just so bizarre. It must have been a day where I'd taken a sick day off of work, or because obviously This Morning is on throughout the daytime and the weekday, so obviously it starts in the morning, which is probably why it's called This Morning.
The clue to the title.
Yeah, the clue is there. Yeah, definitely. That is probably a good way to slither out of this conversation, I guess, James. But But yeah, it does raise questions as to why she was asleep in her back garden or backyard.
I think you've got to be loaded full of drugs and alcohol. It's got to be something like that. But
yeah,
the whole thing is just so bloody nightmarish. It's.
I know.
Let's change the subject, eh?
Yeah. Well, let's just end the episode there. Let's leave it all disturbed.
We'll have a whole raft of Salty Tadpoles going, I got no sleep last night. It's all your fault.
Sorry.
Bastard.
We're so sorry.
Well, on the weird dream front, I touched on this when I was doing the Picard stuff with reviews with Joanne, but clearly I've still not. Yeah, I've not learnt a lesson. Cheese dreams.
What cheese dream did you have then?
It was a very weird dream in the fact that I was at work, but it wasn't actually my work, and there'd been some sort of like fire or something. But it was just a very vivid dream, and it mixed in like wristwatches and things. So clearly, there was no sort of proper narrative to it. But I woke up and I was like, okay, man, that was a weird dream. That was a really weird dream.
I think the worst dream that I've ever had is that my brain is obviously so active. Again, it's work related, but
yeah,
in my dream, I actually went to work and did a full day's worth of work, but then my alarm went off, and it was it felt so real that I'd actually finished work, and it was because it was sort of like a step by step of what normally would happen throughout the day, and then my alarm went off, and then it was a realization that I actually physically had to go to work, and it was like no.
Yeah, bit of a bugger.
Yeah, a bit of a bugger is an absolute shitter. So, yeah, I think we do need to analyse the dreams thing. I know we said about it before, but I think we need to do that. I think
that's a good idea. Terrifying.
Yeah.
But a good idea.
Yeah, because I get some really weird and wacky dreams, especially as, with certain tablets that I have to take and stuff like that. They really give you crazy dreams. So, yeah, I think our next recording we should do it about dreams. And
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and maybe if the Salty Tadpoles want to get involved, if anybody wants to submit any of their dreams, just slip into our DM or send us an email as well, because we never give out our email address, so which is, I think, talkingcodswalloppodcast@gmail.com. If that doesn't work, DM me and I'll let you know what it actually is.
Cool.
We never use it, like I said. Well, we do use it, but we don't use it for interactions, really. It's more figures and, getting all the numbers and stuff like that. So, right, James, well, I don't know about you, but my dinner's ready and it's been ready for a good 20-odd minutes now, so it's nice and cold. So, on that note, I think we've been talking enough Codswallop. So, I have been Gemma.
I have and still am and will forever be James.
Yay! And that's how we always want to keep him. Just as James.
Correct. Indeed we do. Indeed. And on that bombshell.
Right, well, thank you for listening to this week's Talking Codswallop, and we're out of here. Goodbye!
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hi, it's Dr. Squee here. I'm here to tell you about my live video podcast event, Squeefest 2020, brought to you by StreamYard. 2 p.m. to 2 p.m. British Summer Time on 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. I will be going live for 24 hours on the Dr. Squee Show Facebook page and twitch.tv/Dr. Squee to raise money for NHS charities together who are supporting NHS staff and volunteers who are bringing the fight to COVID-19. We will have guest stars including the third Doctor Who companion Katie Manning. From Going Live we have Trevor Simon. Stand-up comedian Anubhav Powell will be bringing Mumbai to the event, and we'll have so many more guest stars to announce. As well as that, we have quizzes, games, panels with authors and ghost hunters. We've also got your favourite podcasts: Retrek, Netheads, Legend in My Spare Time, Due South by Southeast, Unclassical, Dead Piet Society, Talking Codswallop, Diversely Geek, Legend of the Travelling TARDIS, Dog's Best Friend, and Blay Makes Food. As well as all that, our friends over at SW20 Radio, the Sound of South Wales, will be broadcasting an hour of Squeefest with our friend Matt Lees. Please follow our Facebook page and at Dr. Squee on Twitter and Instagram for more guest announcements as we have them. All this and so much more If you can afford to donate, please go to justgiving.com/squeefest now or on the day and give what you can. And join me for 24 hours of fun. I'll see you there.